Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conversations. I'm Muqtedar Khan. I'm a professor at the University of Delaware, and I'm the host of Conversations. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what I think and what some of my friends on social media have shared with me are the five most important events that have impacted the United States in 2021. But before I start listing these five events, I invite you to subscribe to Conversations and also ring the bell icon so that when I post new videos, you get a notification saying there is a new video on Conversations. So I just want to make one preliminary comment. This year has been reasonably good for the United States. The economy is doing well. The GDP is nearly 5% plus, which is a good thing. The inflation is high, but the unemployment is low. So generally, there is positivity in the economy, and so that is a good thing. But the year felt as if this was a clash of titans: COVID variants versus COVID vaccinations. So we are living under the shadow of this conflict, and it appears that it may continue for a few years to come. Having said that, let's move to number five. I think at number five, we have this major disaster, uh, the failure of the Democratic Party to convince Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia to vote with them on President Biden's Build Back Better bill. This bill would have been a tremendous, shall we say, stimulus and input into the US economy and the life of Americans. This $1.75 trillion was going to expand childcare like never before, enabling a lot of people, especially women, working class women, to be able to work and not worry about their children. It was going to expand healthcare access. It was going to help senior citizens with lots of things like hearing, etc. It was also going to improve, shall we say, uh, the effort to fight climate change. So, in many ways, the failure to pass the BBB bill uh, has gutted the middle class. And I also feel that going forward, the United States at least the Democratic Party, may pay a heavy price in November, and they might lose uh, the Senate or the Senate and the House because they failed to pass this particular bill. But they do have two major achievements, and I will highlight what they are as we go forward. At number four, we have the US withdrawal of Afghanistan. It was, from a strategic perspective, from a national interest perspective, a good decision, but the manner in which it was executed was bad. Good decision, bad execution. The message that the way in which we withdrew, the chaotic images, people hanging from planes, trying to run away from Afghanistan, and the specter of Taliban taking over, conveyed this image to the world that the United States was defeated by a ragtag bunch of extremists called the Taliban. And once again, a superpower had suffered a defeat at the hands of the Afghans. And the US withdrawal also showed a degree of incompetence and really bad management in the way we withdrew. We have also left behind billions of dollars worth of Black Hawk helicopters and Humvees and other weaponry that the Taliban can either use or sell. So essentially, it was really a very bad execution of a military exercise, and it, along with the failure of the US to manage COVID very well, sends the message that the US is not a very competent nation. And given the fact that our competence is one of the most important elements of our soft power, you could clearly argue that the withdrawal of the US from Afghanistan, the manner in which we did it, essentially has dealt a major blow to our soft power. And people don't see America as that hegemonic power that they used to see in the past. So, in that sense, it's going to raise the transaction cost of other foreign policy initiatives that President Biden will take in the near future. So, at number four, we have the withdrawal of the United States from Afghanistan. At number three, I have placed the future of space tourism. I'm quite excited by the fact that now you can pay $250,000 to Bezos, the owner of Amazon, and go into space. Right now, the trips are about 11 minutes, and you get to spend 2 or 3 minutes in space in zero gravity. So it's basically touch and go. You go up to 62 miles in height, you touch space, spend 3 minutes there, and come back. But I find it very exciting is because this is the private sector now investing in science-related projects and technology. So the more space travel that we have, I think there will be more research done uh, in space technology, engineering, aeronautics, etc. So I'm hoping that all these billions that these billionaires have stashed will go into science research and help universities and scholars and students, etc. So it's going to be a positive input into economy, especially building the knowledge base of our society. So while some people find it obnoxious and disgusting that billionaires are racing to the space, uh, I see a positive side to it. At number two is I place the passage of the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package. I think this is one of the best things that has happened to America in decades. This is the biggest investment in America's infrastructure for a long time. If you look at our country today, you can see that it's an advanced, developed country, but it has the infrastructure of the 1960s. The roads are always clogged. The traffic jams are notorious and historical, and so on and so forth. We don't even have a good train system, etc. So what this $1 trillion infrastructure bill is going to do is build and rebuild our bridges, the railway system, our roadways, and also enhance the broadband access that people have at the moment. So essentially, better connectivity is going to be the consequence of this $1 trillion investment. And of course, it also acts as a stimulus into the economy. Government spending on public works is a way surely to create more jobs, more new businesses. And if the government stays true to involving only those companies which have unions or minimum wages, etc., then I think overall uh, the extended impact of this $1 trillion investment will be far reaching and really, really positive for the country. So that is, in my view, one of the best things that has happened to the United States in 2021, and its ramifications probably will last for 5 to 10 years or more, especially if we end up building a better railroad system. Finally, what happened in January 6th? This is at number one on my list as the most influential event in 2021, but I think it is the most influential event of this decade for the United States. What happened on January 6th was not a failure of the world's oldest democracy to have a peaceful transition of power. I mean, that is obvious. We have had contested elections at least 3 times in this century, and I'm not very sure that we qualify as a democracy anymore, especially after what happened on January 6th. There was a violent transition of power, undoubtedly. But it is also not just one problem. It's not just a problem of transition of power. It is a reflection of a bundle of problems which are fundamental to our society and will continue to plague us for a while to come. So, what I see happen on January 6th is the resentment of a certain community at losing power, losing significance, losing privilege. And so the white panic that is setting in some segments of the society is undermining this. So as a comedian said, that some white people are so worried that the growing multiculturalism and growing liberalism in American democracy might destroy democracy. So to prevent that, the right wing in this country is destroying America's democracy first. So that is the fear that we might become a majoritarian or a populist nation on January 6th. It is dividing the country. It shows that not only is the country divided, but each side has tremendous intolerance for the other. There are people who are studying the possibilities that this could lead to another civil war in the United States. But nevertheless, there is so much hostility and so much dysfunctionality in society that whatever gains we may get from investments in infrastructure or technology and science may be lost. So I think that addressing the problem, the root causes of January 6th, is incumbent upon all of us who wish to see America prosperous, a strong democracy, and a force for good in the world. So I would like all of you to think about how you can contribute to addressing the challenges that January 6th has presented to all of us. So I wish you all in advance Happy New Year. I hope that 2022 will be a much better year. I hope that the pandemic will go away, and I hope that we once again experience peace and prosperity. And this is Muqtedar Khan, the host of Khanversations. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to Khanversations. Press the bell icon so that you get notifications. And also share this video with your friends, with your students, and with your social network. Take care.